Because we know inevitably we're going to get a Vapor 17 and Superfly 11, here are 3 changes that I would make for the next generation of Mercurial. Let me know if you agree. I know it's not everyone's favorite feature, and I definitely don't think that it makes these boots any faster, but personally, I really like the comfort and underfoot feel of the 3/4 length zoom unit at the base of the sole plate on the current Mercurials. However, I always found it a little bit strange that if you go for the Takedown Model Pro or Academy tiers, you get that zoom unit underneath the heel, but nothing on the Elites. The zoom unit just ends kind of in the middle of the midfoot. However, when they kind of reintroduced Zoom Air Tech in football boots in the first place with the Air Zoom Ultra, this is a football boot that featured a full-length zoom unit. However, for whatever reason, it never made its way onto a general release product. So for the next generation of Mercurial, if they're going to continue with this zoom thing, I think it just makes sense for it to run the full length of the sole plate. The second thing that I would change is the inclusion of grip knit, and that's not to say that I don't think it feels good on the current generation of Mercurials, but I do think there are plenty of people that don't necessarily want extra grip on the ball for a style of football boot that typically appeals to speedy wingers who are doing a little bit more in the way of dribbling. And also, just for the sake of variety, if your control boot is going to have grip knit, why does your speed boot also need to have it? I think having something a little bit different, at the very least less grippy on the Mercurial, just makes more sense. We're speaking of variety, and I know this would be a huge ask given that it's been like this for 4 generations now, but wouldn't it be nice if the Vapor and the Superfly had 2 different uppers again? Or don't get me wrong, I'm not suggesting that we need to go to the same extreme as the mid-cut Superfly 4 made from Flyknit and the low-cut Vapor 10 made from Tasian synthetic, but at the very least, especially if Nike really wants to continue with this whole grip knit concept, maybe the Superfly has grip knit and the Vapor offers something else. I understand the difficulty of trying to market 2 different football boots within the same line as both being the top end models, but Adidas can do it, other brands can do it. I don't see why Nike can't as well.